This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Yeah, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason, what's on tap for us tonight?
Well, tonight is something I was hoping to talk about like a while before now, but hey, better now than later. And that is like one of the best romantic comedies that I have ever read, period. That is Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Like, talked about this a while ago on the podcast. I've been reviewing just about every single volume like since then. And now we finally reached the end of the road. And, it's like, yeah, I think there have been some bumps along the way, but overall, it has been a great series that I think is going to be hopefully be remembered for a good long while. And if nothing else, like, it's worth fighting over when, like, say, when it asks me, it's like, yeah, Jason, why are you like a 40-something-year-old man, like obsessing over this, like, romantic comedy about like high school students? Which
This is damn good.
Damn straight, Steve. Thank you. It's like, yeah, it is worth fighting other people over. And again, thank you for just, recommending this series to me in the first place.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, because like Steve, like everyone, like this podcast would not be happening if Steve hadn't told me, like, hey, this series Kaguya-sama, Love is War, the Genius's War of Love and Brains is really good. And yeah, it's like I said, oh, it's a romantic comedy, but I think Steve's like, track record here is pretty okay. So let me check it out. Oh, great. So again, thank you, Steve. And that's why I've dragged you here back tonight to talk about it.
Of course. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to get everyone up on the same page here, Kaguya-sama is a romantic comedy about these two geniuses at this like elite Japanese academy called Shuchin Academy. One is the student council president, Miyuki Shirogane, who is got into the academy on a scholarship program, but quickly proved himself to be like the most academically gifted of all the students there, scoring like top marks on all the exams there, and eventually becoming the student council president. At his at his side is Kaguya Shinomiya, like the daughter and one of the heiress to one of the Japan's major conglomerates, the Shinomiya Group, and she's also a very, very academically gifted student as well, and someone who is easily able to be Shiragane's second in this academy. And even though it's they didn't really know each other before, rising to their positions as, president and vice president of the student council, they, kind of got to know each other, and they eventually said, hey, this person's all right. And, maybe if they decided to ask me out, I'd say yes, because as the series posits in its earliest chapters, love is war, and the person who first admits their love loses. So basically, the whole gimmick of the series is that Miyuki and Kaguya are basically trying to get the other to admit they love each other, before the other one does, so they will get the upper hand in their relationship. And the series does a really good job of just skewering so many romantic comedy conventions, from the start, the pride that each side demonstrates, and just how they're also high school students, and they're also kind of really silly and really dumb about how they're going about doing this, such as how the first the first chapter basically involves them burning enough brain power to the point where oh my god, in order to get the edge over my friend, I need to get that last steamed bun. And nope, neither of them gets it. Instead, the council secretary, Chika Fujiwara, the series pink-haired goddess of chaos, gets it, and they're both just left with a dazed drooling mess as a result. It just gets sillier from there, from Kaguya just realizing that she doesn't know how to order a movie tickets and all. It's just a lot of fun, for a good portion of the volume series, up until volume 13, or sorry, 14, when they finally resolve this. Like it's it's a lot of fun, and the series introduces like a lot of great characters. Like Chica is like I said, she's a pink-haired goddess of chaos. She's just like out to it, just like make everyone look as silly as possible. It's like, and also just have her own have her own way of doing things as well. Whether it's like trying to find like the games everyone plays in order to settle things, or just like be the ramen champion of the world, even though she's not actually competing in things. And then there's Yu Ishigami, Miyuki's friend, who was like subject to like a bad rap back in middle school. But then when he's found out just when Miyuki finds out what actually happened, he tries to get his friend into a good spot in the student council, even though he's just kind of like a glum, serious like gamer type dude. It's for most of the series. And then there's Miko Ino, the very, very serious student council and disciplinarian, who wants to supplant like Miyuki as student council president, but she's just like so straight laced and like so serious and so prone to misinterpreting things that just gets like ridiculous from there. And Ai Hayasaka, Kaguya's best friend, quasi sister, who is like dedicated to helping her out as her position as as her handmaiden, but also indebted to her the Shinomiya family is just being their spy for Kaguya's actions as well. Because the series also has its some serious side as well, but it's really fun. For the first half as well. I mean, like Steve, you got any good memories of that first half before they finally confess their love to each other?
Oh, everything up till First Kiss Lasts Forever? Up till then? Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit. There's just a lot of things. Like there's the recurring gags with like Chica and the four ramen kings. They never really get into them, which is a shame. But so there's that. There's
Why is your ramen so full of hate?
Yes. Yeah. I'm kind of sad they didn't actually do much more with those characters, but I'll get back to that thought and others a little later. I like how they go through usual tropey arcs in like Japanese high school rom-coms, like the culture festival and shit like that. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but they do fun original things with well-written characters, and then cool stuff happens, right? These are all like these are all these characters. They've got a lot of interesting backstory, that is slowly revealed, and they've all got interactions with each other in their pasts, and by this point in the story, if you've read up to this far or watched up this far, if you've been watching the anime, you kind of you see it all come together, and you see fun, like unexpected interactions occur, and I think that's a large part of the appeal to it for me.
Like the rap battle.
Yeah, like the fact they had, I think in the anime, in like the anime series, they had at least two. I think there were two rap battles. Were there?
I think they may have spread that out over 2 episodes, but they also did a special ending sequence. The ending sequence of the third season is legendary in the sense that it's basically a ship post about Starship Troopers. But there was one episode where they actually had the characters do a full on rap battle. It's and that was magical.
Yeah, look, I know it's a bit of a digression from the question you asked me, but I want to say that the animation for this, got a lot of love, it got a lot of money, and it got a lot of talent. All right, like they often for an anime adaptation of some manga work is, often it's workmanlike to kind of shit, right? Like, our histories are littered with that. Go ahead.
I think a lot of times the best we can hope for is something like, say, Vinland Saga season 2, where it executes on what made the manga great and just reminds you, hey, you know what? this is why I liked the series in the first place. It's kind of rare where we get something that, with Kaguya-sama, where it's like, everyone is just kind of like, oh my God, how we love this series. How can we make it better?
Yeah, they execute on things in the animation that they just can't do in like a black and white like print format, and it's it's just it's so original, like the work that they do for the animation, that it, in my opinion, it surpasses the manga, just because it's the manga but better. There's just more going on there, and but a lot of it, I think, is better appreciated if you read the manga beforehand, so you can see what they did to make it better. But that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, but also it's like I want to point out that they had some real genuine talent, like behind the series, like for the series, like the director Mamoru Hatakeyama, who was the guy behind the series. And if you think like maybe he's just like, maybe this is just like a case of like him being tied to this particular series. No, it's like go watch Undead Murder Farce to see what this guy can do when he's like when he's also just like adapting like a prose work as well. So yeah, this is a series that had passion and talent to make it better than it is. But that being said, it's like you shouldn't just watch the the anime, read the manga as well, especially since we're still waiting to find out just when season 4 is coming, because hey, it's like I mean props to Hatakeyama for saying, hey, I want to go and do Undead Murder Farce before I come back for season 4. But yeah, it's like we're all ready to see what's coming there. But also with after the point we are with season 3 and the movie, like, I guess that's kind of arguably kind of the most difficult part of the series, in the sense that you're showing okay, now they're together as a couple, so like what do we do there? It's like, well, it's just a matter of like showing how do you stay together. It's like just like what quirks of personality do these characters have? And you've got Kaguya's ice princess persona to deal with, and Miyuki's crippling anxiety about just is he going to be good enough to be worthy of her, which is like something that we were told that hey, like after his mother left his dad and left him behind as well, it's like, well, hey, like he's got to deal with this. And like for a while I was thinking like the big demons that were going to need to be slayed by the end of the series were Kaguya's oldest brother, who was just like has a very series of like, hey, this is what women are meant to be like in our family and in general. And also Miyuki's mother was like, oh, this is like what happens when love runs out. Like these dragons need to be slayed. And I was really only half right. But in the end, the series does like really good job of balancing its dramatic side with its comedic side, just like the ridiculous stuff that happens, such as when Kaguya's youngest brother tries to blackmail Ai in order to putting Kaguya under his thumb, and then the silliness that inspires when Kaguya realizes that oh, it's I sent me this message that in order it will help me figure out just where I need to be in order to save her. Oh my God, I can't remember where she needs me to be. It's like that kind of ridiculousness, and it's fun. It's and I don't think the series really succumbs to its dramatic side up until the later volumes, which is when her oldest brother makes his play to be the hey, I'm finally gonna put you under my thumb, little girl. It's like, so what are you gonna do about that? And now Miyuki has to find a way around that. This is around volumes 24 through 26, I think. But yeah, it's a series that does a really good job of being not of being a romantic comedy, but also remembering to be comedic for a lot of its run, which I deeply respect, because sometimes there are some series when just okay, it's we're getting to our final game and we're going to now we got to be serious and all. But Kaguya-sama does a good job of subverting that for a good portion of its run, and even when it does kind of tend to be more dramatic, it's still pretty enjoyable and all.
Yeah, it was a good time throughout the whole thing. I never felt like there. I don't think I ever felt at any point that there was a there were any filler arc. You know, like it's all content. It's all good content.
All forward momentum. Like they just like the mangaka Akasaka, he had a plan for this. Like well, it's like and he knew what he wanted to do from like from the jump. It seems or at least like like pretending like to know what he was doing from the jump, which is like a really good skill in and of itself.
Yes, and I think also he knows when to. He knew in the story when to adapt and when to drop certain premises. Like you even see it hinted at. Like I think was it the second or third season of the anime where I think one of the subtitles for the one of the sublines for like the title, like Genius's War of Love and Brains, they dropped that part because they dropped that whole war premise. And it's just all right. We've got our thing established. We've got a good rom com. We can drop that whole like fighting shtick, and we're gonna do our own thing now, and it's better for it. Like I think they move on from a very sort of like a very tropey sort of like a week by week sort of like battle premise, right? And they still come back to it from time to time, but it's not like it's not like the main reason like you're continuing to read the story.
Yeah, it's like I think I remember like seeing one bit in the like in the manga where it's like like he's got like he's asking reader questions and someone was like Genius's War of Love and Brains question mark and he's like yes I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it's good, he's self-aware.
Yeah, it's like, and you realize that like the characters, like as smart as they are, they definitely got their own hangups, such as like Kaguya's like deeply sheltered, it's like by personality, it's like having been raised in a it's like in a very rich like household. It's like and Miyuki's like dedication to being like I got to be the best I can be, but he's really good at studying, and he has Chika like train him through everything else, which is probably like one of the best series best recurring gags. That she just trains this poor like a helpless boy who can't dance, can't play volleyball, can't sing, can't rap, and like has to do everything herself. Yeah, good times there. It's like, and I'm going to like tell my cat how bad he is for like like taking all the pigs out of my like out of my walls right now. So bad boots, bad. Okay. Anyway, but this also leads us to the like the final couple volumes, which after all the drama has happened, it's like we've got like Akasaka is now able to be free to be funny again. It's basically just like final two volumes are just basically all falling action. Like hey, just like just show you like the last good time that everyone has at Chuchin, and it's like it's a really good victory lap for the series because we get to see Chika play more games with the characters. We get to see Miyuki like head out to Stanford, and Kaguya's how she deals with that, and also like the final Ramen King chapter, which reveals that like the king's biggest mistake was just playing against thinking they were playing against Chika in the first place. So, and then like you get the final volume, which basically shows you what was going on with everyone. Like just like what's the last chapter for everyone, like from all the major minor characters such as like Nagisa and Tsubasa, like and how their relationship winds up, which is really the only way it could wind up really because it brings back the doctor. Like, yeah, the doctor.
What a great character.
Yeah, it's like
I wish there was more of him.
Yeah, you're right. It's like there's a lot of characters they could have like used more of. I mean, like also like with the like Miyuki's dad, because like every time he showed up, it was just comedic gold. It's like like every time, like whenever he showed up, it was just like, hey, it's like glad to see you, man. It's like you just make everything better simply by your presence. And also, like the final chapter, it finally shows you Yuki's mom, which is like, man, like so what was her deal and all? And then you find out, and that's something I kind of wish she had just done a little bit more with. It's like it seems like well, like she's got her like supremely confident persona. She's also got some like her son's like deeply ingrained insecurities as well. But it's just that one chapter, and I really wish I'd seen more of her, just to give like a more rounded picture of just like this person who had like an outsized presence on one of the protagonists, but we just like barely got to know her like over the course of the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I was alluding to earlier. There's all these characters, and a lot of the characters are pretty deep and well realized, even the minor ones. And I just think it's a shame that I think it's a shame that the. I mean, look, it's Akasaka's story to end however he wants, whenever he wants. But I kind of wish there was a little bit more resolution about all these other characters in these loose threads, like like you said, like Shiragani's mom, the Ramen Kings, some of those characters got their due, like the Media Club, I think, had their own spin-off. They got their own like Yonkoma spin-off. But there's a lot of characters that I think they could have. There was room for more, but the story was ended where it was. Like
he sets up a nice escape route in case he ever wants to come back for this. If he wants to do like Ishigami and Ino's story.
Yeah, like there's some storytelling right there potentially, but like he'd probably have to cook up like besides some recurring characters, he'd probably have to cook up some new characters for them to bounce off of as well. And I think in my opinion at least, I think there might be the fear that it's kind of like it might be the encore that makes financial sense but isn't really necessary. Like for example, I felt I kind of felt the same way when Cowboy Bebop ended. I was I was like, damn, that's quite a way for the series to end, but it ended here, and it ended before it overstayed its welcome, and I would feel weird if someone made a continuation of the story from this point. And I don't know if it might. I don't know if I'd feel that way as well if someone were to continue the story of some of the characters in Kaguya-sama.
Like Boruto, the Saga of Love and War.
Well, look, it makes it made total financial sense for that. All right, it makes total financial sense for a big shonen battle manga, but I don't know. I'd feel weird about it, but I could also totally understand that maybe he just wants maybe Akasaka wants another yacht or some shit. Sure. I'm not gonna fault him for doing it. I'd feel a little weird about it.
Okay, I just wanted to digress for just a minute, just talk about the fact that I don't think that's not going to happen because Akasaka already has another hit on his hands right now.
That's true. Oshinoko is doing pretty well too.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting that Akasaka wrote and illustrated Kaguya-sama really well. I want to add because dude has some like incredible comic timing. It's like a really good gift for caricature, like that he demonstrates over and over again over the course of his run. He's only writing Oshinoko with the art being provided by Mengo Yokiari, and well, I've liked what I've read. I mean, my enjoyment has been like slightly spoiled by the fact that I watched the anime before, reading the manga. I gotta admit that his writing is still pretty sharp there. I just don't think that Yokoyari is on the same level when it comes to his comedic gifts in terms of just the caricature, the comic timing. It just kind of feels like I read this, I think like, okay, yeah, this looks pretty good, at the same time, I really wish that Akasaka hadn't burnt himself out doing like Kaguya-sama, because he was churning this stuff out like on a weekly basis, and he's also alludes to this like in like up to the point I've read in Oshinoko, where we're in the not Demon Slayer arc, where they're talking about like, hey, what do manga editors have to do? Find a hit series and then never get that series to end. Which, yeah, it's like, yeah, he's speaking from experience there.
Yes, very self-aware writing there. Oshinoko I felt like is a good way for him to release some of his, a good outlet for him and some of his stories regarding the other side of the entertainment business, the entertainment industry, I should say.
Yeah, it's like it's good work, but yeah, it's like I think that probably I would have loved. I wish that he hadn't burnt himself out doing Kaguya-sama, like where he could write and illustrate this series as well, if not on a weekly basis, just maybe on a monthly basis as well. But I'm shooting at what ifs here. What we got though with Kaguya-sama was beautiful, funny, and easily like if someone's going to tell me like, hey, what's one of like the greatest like romantic comedies that I would recommend to someone, I'd say this, because it just like does a great job, not just skewering a lot of the tropes, but also just telling a really good story in its own right as well. Like, and I really appreciated that, and that's why I love this series from beginning to end, and why I kept writing reviews of each volume on the blog on a regular basis. So yeah, it's like I thoroughly love this series, and I'll recommend it to anyone. I mean, go out and buy all 28 volumes right now, or wait until like Viz does some kind of omnibus treatment for it, because this is a series that definitely deserves like that kind of treatment. I mean,
And watch
like,
the anime and watch the movies.
yeah, it's like I mean, like seasons 1 through 3 in the movie are fantastic, like great adaptations of the material, are arguably better, but yeah, it's like once you reach the end, you're going to want to know what happens next, and you're not going to want to wait. So yeah, it's like it's a great series, and much like a series I was hoping to talk about last year, Golden Kamuy, it's not a question of like, is the series going to show up on the best of 2024 list? It's just a question of like how high it's going to be.
It's that good. I agree.
Yeah. And again, like, Steve, thanks for showing up here.
Oh,
Like,
there are a couple more things I want to talk about.
oh no,
like,
go for it, man.
Just not huge things, just like stuff about the story, like from the closing end of Kaguya-sama. The so I guess we're totally in spoiler territory here, right?
Yeah, it's like, I guess if you're here after reading all like reviews of the previous volumes, then yeah, like how it's going to end. Like, it's, yeah, I guess yeah. Well, I already told you what I thought about the series. So, like, you can stop listening now, but go ahead and go for it, Steve. Spoiler away.
Okay, so towards the end, you may recall, Kaguya makes her escape by jumping off a cliff onto a helicopter.
As you will.
Yes. Did anyone else here think that was stuffy as hell? Like, how are you jumping off a cliff onto a helicopter's ladder? Like, tell me, the helicopter was under her. How is she jumping through a helicopter's rotors onto a helicopter ladder? Like, let's take the most generous case. Like, this helicopter pilot was banking that helicopter super hard, and it's like basically perpendicular to the ground, right? Let's say the rotors are perpendicular to the ground, and she's jumping into the bay doors of this helicopter. But the next panel shows her clearly on the ladder, caught by Miyuki. So what happened here? Did he just cheap out? Did he just cheap out that section?
Power of love, man.
Okay, we're just gonna yeah. We're just gonna let that one go.
This is a series where it's like, like if it was a lesser series, I would have just said, "Oh yeah, power of love, man." But no, this series I go, "No, power of love."
All right, you know what? Yeah, in a very internally consistent and coherent series like this one, they'd get a pass for this. All right, they will get a pass. I guess the other thing is from some of the post story material that was officially put out. Do you agree with the premise that Chica was actually the heroine of the story?
She's the pink-haired guardian goddess of chaos in this show. It's like, I mean, it's kind of like saying, like, like you can't really say that she wasn't anything in this. Like, she could have been, she was everything and she was nothing, So it's like like the more, like, trying to analyze her my position in this is like, it's like that bit where Hayasaka had to, like, keep her out of the it's like of the student academy, the student council room, and it's like she's like, oh my god, it's like, I can't. How can I do this? And someone who just, like, does not respond to any rational means of communication, And then when she realizes that Chica's, like, trying to find, where's my I need you to find my ribbon. Like, where was it? Oh, wait a second, it was inside of my skirt the whole time, because I was trying to, like, keep these crows from pecking at it. It's like, how are you just gonna, like, ascribe any kind of logic to like what Chica was and wasn't capable of in this series?
Okay, look, I mean, fair enough. Do you think that makes her the heroine? Because that's the premise stated in one of the I don't know what you want to call it, post story materials. I'm going to call it that, because it's not like actual story bits. It's like kind of the epilogue page for a lot of the major characters.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's like, I think that it's like, like, if they want to say that, like, this is what this is what she was everyone's heroine, then yeah, it's like, she's like the only character they could have said this about, because, like, it's like, what else is she gonna do, like after this? I mean, like, we're told that she's, like, goes around, like, campaigning up and down Japan for her parents, like, political campaigns, and that she also wants to be prime minister of Japan. And if there's, like, anyone else in the series that was going to be, like, prime minister of Japan, that I would just said no, but Chica, yes.
Yeah, there's a sense that she can do anything, even though her methods are unorthodox.
Yeah, but it's like, I think, like, her gift, her penchant for cheating, like, in every single game that she plays, is probably going to suit her well, like in her inevitable political career.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Uh, I think that would actually serve her pretty well in the in the underhanded dealings of politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think in some sense I would agree. She could be seen as the spine of the story, like, because and a lot of times she serves as a comic relief most of the time, but
Mm-hmm.
when the story requires her to be, she is providing serious support, like during the during the culture festival, and they're like Ishigami's backstory, and she's the one who's been digging up some dirt on his antagonists.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she is what the story needs to keep it from going too far in one direction or another, in my opinion. This is why I think I would had her described as the spine of it, because she keeps it going more or less in the right direction, and she can be ascribed whatever traits she needs to be at that time to affect that, right? Because you can't have, like, the other characters, they they're well-rounded human. Well, they're not well-rounded humans. They are humans. They are complex humans, and they display the full range of emotions. But sometimes you just need you need plot grease, and I think she serves that pretty well.
Is the wackiest plot grease that the series could have asked for, and that's definitely, like, to its credit.
Yeah, I think it's a role she serves well. So I would at least would at least partially agree with the premise that she's a heroine. I don't know about the full-on heroine. I still think like Kaguya herself.
Well, her name's in the title, so it's like that's it. That's it right there.
All right, sure. I agree. Just you know, um, I think at first I balked at the premise, but I kind of agree that Chica did serve a strong role and purpose, and maybe the term heroine could be applied to her for this story.
Far be it from us to underestimate the importance of the it's like the love detective to the proceedings.
Ah, the love detective. Another recurring gag that was always funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, anything else you wanted to say? It's like about how great the series is, because I realize we're not being too objective about the series, but come on, man, it's that good.
It really is. I don't have anything more to add right now, other than for anyone who's listening to this, I'm going to repeat what Jason said. Go out and grab whatever Kaguya-sama related story stuff, anime, manga, spin-off, and read it. Like the spin-off isn't quite as good, and it only works if you've already read the main story stuff. But if you want more more story that's an adjunct to the existing story, there you go. There's plenty of it, and I don't think you can go wrong.
Sweet. So thanks for contributing again, Steve. Always appreciate your input. And also, it's like, hey, so you're gonna come back in a couple of months to gush even harder about Delicious in Dungeon, right?
Yeah, I probably will. Just let me know when.
Sweet. Looking forward to it, man.
Of course.
All right. Sounds good. We'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right. Later, everyone.